so much better. If you watched my last video, you know that I was out for several weeks with pneumonia, and I just could not get out of bed. So I'm very happy to be in the land of the living again and getting back to the gym, which I never thought I'd say, to yoga, my walks on the beach with Millie, and yeah, just all my creative projects and work. Actually, speaking of creative projects, I did make this cute little bonnet hood situation that I can show you later. I love it. I now just kind of wear it as like a scarf all the time now. Whenever I'm going out, it just feels like a fun little accessory. But I'm really excited to dive into some other creative projects. But yeah, this week's gonna be a good one. It started off really well. This weekend we went on a hike in the Marin Headlands. We started out at Muir Beach, which is so beautiful, and I hadn't been in years, which is crazy because it's like a 35-minute drive from here. And we hiked up 6 miles, super steep, really difficult. I thought I was gonna keel over so many times, but I did not. I survived. And we just brought some sandwiches up there, and the view from the top is so stunning. It was just a really wonderful reset. And I also got this really good shot of the city, looking back from where we were to the city through the hills. And it is giving Emerald City vibes. It's crazy. But happy we went, feeling a lot better. And today I'm gonna go to the gym and probably go to the grocery store to make some meals. I feel like all I've been eating is soup, so I'm excited to make some different meals. And then later in the week is Valentine's Day, and my partner and I aren't big Valentine's Day people, but we love going to the Balboa Theatre to watch whatever film they're playing. And this year it's Harold and Maude, which we love, so we're really excited about going there. And then on Thursday, I think I'm gonna meet my friend Chelsea for a little wine bar, a little Galentine's Day, and we are reading this book. It is called I'm Mostly Here to Enjoy Myself, One Woman's Pursuit of Pleasure in Paris. I have not read a book for pleasure in a long time. I feel like I've been doing a lot of reading for research or for work or creative projects, but haven't just like full on read a fun book just to enjoy it. So I'm very excited about that. And I got it from the library, which means I'm pressed for time to read it, which is also kind of fun. So I need to start reading this, and then we're gonna go have a glass of wine and chat about it. But yeah, I'm also gonna get some cleaning done this week and just have a full reset. The full moon's coming up. I feel the energy of just starting anew and releasing something. So it's gonna be a mix of sort of just watching me clean, watching me make coffee, and doing some fun things that I'll walk you through for these creative projects. Oh, speaking of, I'm actually launching my first ceramics collection this spring. So that is one thing that I'll walk you through this week. I'll walk you through the process. It's the first time I'm making a collection like this, so we'll explore it together. I'll show you the mood boards and what I'm drafting for it. I usually work pretty spontaneously with the clay, but this time I wanted to push myself to really have an intention of specific items that I want to make. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. So let's start by making some coffee, and then we will get right into it. Let's go. I'm just waiting for my doctor for my checkup. And I'm reading this book. Finally getting started. Always a good idea to bring a book to the doctor's office. I just don't really like being on my phone, I think. Even though I'm on my phone right now recording. But anyway, I'm sure everything's gonna be fine. So I went to the studio last night and it didn't go well. It wasn't terrible, but I definitely had in my mind a specific plan for what I wanted to create for this altar collection of ceramics. And I was sort of imagining that I would come tell you about it and show you the process and show you how I work through a collection like this. It is my first one, so obviously I have nothing to base this off of, but it's hard for me because I feel like most of the time I am just sort of creating spontaneously. I don't really have a plan for things, and I'm really just a little bit chaotic with it. But I really wanted to challenge myself this year to set a clear intention of specific items to make and have a theme and have an intention with that. And it's proving to be difficult for me because I can just start to feel this pressure and no one really knows, right? Like no one knows that I've set this deadline. No one knows that I have this clear vision. It just lives in my notion where I keep my entire life. Yeah, so I've set some deadlines for April. It's now, late February, which is a pretty tight turnaround for the kinds of things that I want to be making. I want to make different taper candle holders, vases, just different things that you can put on your altar. And an altar can be anything, right? It can be a specific, like, actual altar in your home, but it could also be a windowsill or it could be an area of your desk. Just, I wanted to create these items that make you feel really anchored into a special place of yours. So I feel really good about the intention, but it's just really difficult to balance this openness to play and creativity and exploration and curiosity, which are all really required to build something amazing and beautiful with deadlines and with rigidity. So I went in last night to the studio and had a task list of things I wanted to get through. The clay wasn't really working with me. I made some mistakes as far as like the structure of how to build these incense holders that I'm making. And so it was just like kind of fumbling like for 2 hours, and it was just really frustrating. I'm trying to let that go. And what I've done is I've just given myself a little bit more time to do some test runs. So for the next week and a half or so, I'm just going to focus on like getting back into the rhythm of building again since I haven't been in the studio for a while. So that's my goal, is to just build in some time for testing, test some glazes, and yeah, just let it breathe a little bit because this is supposed to be fun. I do enjoy this process. I do enjoy making ceramics, and I really don't want it to feel like a stressful endeavor. Like, I'm okay with the challenges, that naturally come up, but I don't need to add more pressure when there's literally nobody holding me to this except for myself. In the sort of realm of creative processes and just like how we all go about making our art and having it feel nourishing, I hope this insight of mine helps you as well in knowing that your process can be however you want it to be. I mean, obviously, if you have deadlines, you have deadlines, but I feel like each person's creative process is unique to them. And some of the ways that I've really gotten caught in the stress cycle is because I look at other people and I look at how they create and how they own their process. And I tried to mimic that, or I tried to learn how they do it and do it the same. It's just not going to work because I love being spontaneous and I love collecting things. Like, my research for this has been conducted over years in my connection to nature. Like, the collection is going to be very organic. It's going to feel really kind of wonky and strange. And that speaks volume to the connection that I have with my physical surroundings and my appreciation for organic shapes. And so it's not going to be something where I'm just going to sit down and draw out everything that I want to make. I'm not going to do sketches of things. I have an idea in my mind. I have like a mood board of imagery of like nature scenes that I want to seek texture and shape inspiration from. But while I know there are a lot of ceramic artists who sketch out designs, I'm just not going to do that. I really love the process of sitting down with the clay, engaging with it, and asking what it wants to be. The challenge with that is that clay doesn't always talk back in the way that you want it to. So sometimes the engagement is going to be a little bit mysterious and it's going to be taking a little bit longer than I'd like to. But that's the process that I enjoy. So I'm sticking to it. So let's go back into the studio and make a little bit more. And let's just trust that it's going to turn out the way it needs to turn out. Okay, let's go.